Well, we're cutting some second cutting grass-headed hay. This was the stuff that we sprayed back about a month ago, and you can see all the horse nettle that's dying in here, but it's not dead. So that's kind of an unfortunate thing. We're just gonna have to do multiple herbicide passes in here if we're gonna try to get this stuff killed, because I mean, it's everywhere in here. So we're gonna make some good cattle hay here. There's orchard grass. There's a lot of timothy that's coming up right now. And the big field out there outside this fence, same stuff, lots of horse nettle, but it's pretty thick. There's plenty of grass in there. So it's gonna make good cow chow, but it's unfortunate that we could not get the horse nettle out because it's not gonna be horse hay. But I must have terrible luck with disc bines. So I'm hearing a ticking sound coming from down here, and I identified it. It's these blades are riding on the cutter bar, and I'm like, well, why is that happening? And then I'm like, well, this whole thing here is all shriexed. And I noticed, look down there, there's supposed to be a bolt head right there. So this part of the cutter bar is barely torqued together. It is what it is, though. I can't complain about it because I'm just not gonna. I don't know if you can see there, but cutter bar ain't supposed to sag like that. Did a bunch of work off camera here because I'm just trying to get this job done, but we got all this tore apart here on this end, and cutter bar is partly tore apart. It's a little bit more difficult because it's only connected on that end and that end, whereas the case had some support bolts to hold the cutter bar in place. But now I gotta rig up ratchet straps and bottle jacks to support it and try to get enough torque to undo all these rusty tie bolts. I'm gonna call the disc doctor in the morning to see if he has any of those tie bolts in stock. If he does, I might just get all new tie bolts for everything that I have tore apart, because some of them are pretty rusty and chances are it's going to happen again. The field that I ended cutting at, I was hoping to get that cutting because it's ready to cut, and I was going to hope to get a third cutting, but it's going to be cattle hay anyway, and I think at this point we might as well just let it go, get a really thick second cutting, take it off end of the month, beginning of August or something, and then spray it in the fall for the weeds and then make horse hay next year. So that's probably what we're going to do. Instead of making 3 cuttings, we'll just make 2. I think a better use of my time is going to be to spray the adjacent farm, which doesn't have as bad of horse nettle and not as bad of weed pressure. So if I can get it sprayed now on time, we should be able to clean it up and make it really nice, high quality second cutting horse hay in small bales. So that's what we're going to do. We're getting the tender trailer ready to go here, and tomorrow morning we're going to do some spraying. We already got the sprayer down there, so I'm just filling this thing up with water. So we got like 3.5, 4 acres here, and then another 1.5 acre field down by a creek bottom. This stuff is naturally cleaner than the stuff across the hedgerow, meaning there's not nearly as much horse nettle. And there's not even that much clover either. It's kind of just some smaller weeds, smaller little broadleafs that honestly they don't really hurt anything. But if you can have a clean grass stand, you can definitely sell the hay for a lot more. So we have the chemical, we purchased it back in the winter, so we're gonna use it. Got here around 7 o'clock though. I had the tractor here, brought the truck down. I was ready to go. I backed the tractor up to the tank here, and I go to lower it, and this fitting right here just snapped. And I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was ready to go. I was prepared. it was gonna be a good morning. We were gonna knock this stuff out. I'd be done by now. But no, we broke a fitting, so had to run 20 minutes down the road to grab a fitting, and I got a new hose there while I was at it. And anyway, we're back together. So last night, Dad and I worked on the mower for about an hour and a half maybe. We made some progress. He went up to the disc mower doctor the other day and picked up our parts that we needed. He picked up 10 of these tie bolts. So we're replacing all the tie bolts for the cutter bar that we had tore apart. Those 3 modules still have the original on there. If any of them ever go or we have to replace them, I will pull the cutter bar off from that side, and I should be able to, because all I got to do is pull the pins where the cutter bar is attached, just like the other side. And then instead of the cutter bar being attached to the gearbox and having one long shaft, I can just pop that thing off, and I should be able to drop the cutter bar and pull these off from that side. So if those ever do break, we won't have to address this side. We can just work off of that side, which is nice as far as working on the cutter bar. Anyway, we are replacing all these tie bolts, but we did find a couple issues. So this is the spacer next to the module that was sagging. And right here on each of the spacers, there's dowel pins like that. See, there's dowel pins. Well, this one here, this one kind of got oblonged a little bit, and this one snapped off here. So we've got to get that out. We've got to pick up, I'm going to pick up 2 new dowel pins. And then here's some of the shafts that go between the cutter bar. This one's kind of getting worn down, you can kind of see. And this one's in okay shape, but I kind of figured we would replace both of them while they're out. Anyway, the cutter bar is coming back together. Kind of bummed out that I couldn't finish cutting what we were cutting the other day. However, hopefully that now we've been into this cutter bar, we've done all this work to it, I will never have to do this again, or won't have to do it for a really long time. You guys ready to watch me struggle? This is what a tie bolt looks like. This is OEM. Are you guys tired of watching me work on Discbines? Thought about starting a new business because I work on these things so often at this point. I should just start buying and selling mowers. This thing weighs like 1,000,000 pounds. It's not even a number. Can I turn on the shaft? All right. Well, I thought I had this thing all back together and I was, ready to put the turtles on and skid shoes, and I realized that 2 of the modules that I put on, I flipped 2 of them around. So when I went to put on this turtle and spin them, these 2 were hitting, and I was like, what in the world? So I have 2 options: either pull the top caps off and flip-flop them. Some of y'all are gonna laugh at me because you knew what was gonna happen, but you cannot take the top caps off and just swap them. It doesn't work like that. You gotta take the whole thing apart. I took everything apart, arranged the modules in the order they need to go, and now I gotta leave. So that's tomorrow's problem. There's a lot of wildfire smoke out here right now. This hay is pretty much dry. It had, today's day 4. That's pretty crunchy. Little dampness on the bottom, not really, a touch maybe. So by raking it up, there's enough heat and breeze out here. We should dry it down. Clover, orchard, Timothy, should make good cow hay. This stuff's actually making some fairly decent hay. There's a lot of green in there, and it's around 14%, I think. And there's plenty of it here. We should have enough feed off of this field to hopefully feed the steers we have over here for the winter. At least that's the goal. So I just ran out of diesel. Literally pulling into my driveway. I'm not sure I could have gotten any luckier. Made 17 bales over there, which was right within kind of my yield goal. I was saying, 15 to 20, somewhere in there. We're just being a pasture that we're renting for our steers. It made pretty good hay. Honestly, you could feed it to horses because it was baled dry, and there's a lot of really nice soft stuff in there. And that's it for this week. Oh, I should probably take it out of gear, huh? You didn't see that. Canada, you all right? You sure you guys are okay up there? In other news, the mower's back together. Finally got the cutter bar pieced back together in the proper order, and I made sure to spin it by hand plenty of times, and it's all timed. We're all good to go there. I'm gonna put my tools away, grease it, hook it up to the 966 so that we are ready to go whenever we want to mow more hay. Well, here goes the moment of truth. We're gonna fire it up and make sure this thing works. So before we wrap this video up, I just want to touch on the hay we made the other week, the alfalfa grass here. I got a bale here that was sitting on the concrete in the barn and just got a little bit musty on the bottom. So I'm going to feed it to the steers instead of loading it on a truck, and they are absolutely enjoying it. But I just wanted to kind of, as we break this bale open, look at the leaf retention that we have and compare the impeller versus the old rubber roll case machine. Looking at this bale, there is really good leaf in here. I mean, I can't complain with the leaf that we're looking at. I mean, it's really nice for Northeast hay. No, this ain't Western hay, but for Northeast hay, I think that's all right. I think that's pretty decent. Now, yes, a roll machine is going to excel in the legume crops. It always will. I don't think you can ever do better in crimping alfalfa and retaining leaves than a roller machine. However, a properly set impeller machine, you can still hold on to a lot of leaves. You can still condition the hay to a degree. Again, it's not going to do as well in legume crops because you got to set it to be lighter on the stems. But we had the right hang conditions to where I was able to kind of condition it and hold on to a lot of leaves, and we were able to make really good hay. So I'm pretty pleased with how this looks. And these guys are certainly enjoying every bite of hay they get. They love when I bring these bales up here. They know they get a treat every now and again.